Availability of oxygen in water. When we heat or boil water, we often notice that bubbles start to form. These bubbles are in fact an indication that air is present in the water. When water is heated, the air dissolved in it escapes first, followed by water itself getting converted into vapor. So how does oxygen become available to animals and plants living in water? Water have air dissolved in them, and the aquatic plants and animals take the oxygen that is dissolved in air. So this is how the aquatic plants and animals generally breathe in water. Availability of oxygen in soil. To see the presence of water in the soil, take some lump of soil in a beaker and add water to it. When we add water, we can see bubbles coming out of it, and it proves that the air molecule is present in the soil. When we add water in the soil, whatever air is present in the soil, it tries to escape in the form of bubble. So these bubbles indicate that the air is present inside the soil. Or when we water the soil, here we can clearly see when water is poured in the soil, the bubbles are formed. These bubbles indicate that the soil contains air. Now, how does oxygen become available to animals and plants living in the soil? The roots of the plant and small animals that live in the soil breathe in the air that is generally present in the soil. During heavy rain, we generally observe that earthworm and other animals come out of the soil. Why this happen? Animals generally use the air to breathe under the soil. When it rains very heavily, these animals come out of the soil because the water fills the space occupied by the air, and they need to come out of the soil in order to breathe in air. So in order to breathe in air, they generally come out of the soil. It is often asked how animals under the soil and in water are able to breathe. So we got the answer. The answer is that both soil and water have air dissolved in them, and from that they breathe in oxygen. Now, how is the oxygen in the atmosphere is replaced? The answer we get from the interdependence of plants and animals. We know that the plants play a very important role to balance the oxygen and carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. How? We know that the plants create oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. In this process, in the presence of sunlight, the plant take carbon dioxide and they produce oxygen, and it is released into the atmosphere. The animals and plants generally breathe in this oxygen and they breathe out the carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide is again taken by the plant to produce oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. So this is how generally plant maintain the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This shows the interdependence of plants and animals. Now, importance of air. Why air is very important? We know that windmills are used to generate electricity, and windmills generally work on the principle that the wind generally helps to generate electricity. Air play a very important role in sailing yachts, gliders, parachutes and aeroplanes. Air play a very important role in water cycle also. Whatever vapors are formed, it is air that helped to transport into the up above the sky, and so this is how Air generally helps in the transportation of water vapor and formation of clouds. Air also play a very important role in the dispersal of seeds and the pollen of the flowers. Birds, bats and insects, they can fly only because of the presence of air. Thank you.